Welcome or welcome back to the Variety Pack Podcast. I'm your host, Rashad, and today I want to talk about Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War, Part 3, The Conflict. And before I begin, I want to say shout out to all the Bleach fans out there, man. Shout out to all the Bleach fans because, man, this season was insane. Without further ado, let's start the show. Okay, Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War, Part 3. Man, oh man, what a crazy arc this has been so far. And we still have more to come. But I gotta ask the Bleach fans out there, man, what was you guys' favorite part of the 1,000-Year Blood War Part 3? What was your most hype moments? What was the moments that got you out of your seat the most? You know, let me know, man. Talk to your boy, man. But my first talking point that I want to discuss is Yhwach versus Ichibi. And at part 2, I remember thinking to myself, oh man, Yhwach, he is not dead yet. You know, after Ichibi sent him free falling on part 2, I was like, he's going to come back somehow, some way. He's not dead yet. And how he came back, yes, it was insane. So part 3, episode 1, we see this guy, Yhwach. He unleashes the Almighty, finally fully awakens his eyes, and we find out that in part 2, when they first start battling, Yhwach was fighting with his eyes closed. He was fighting with his eyes closed, and now we see part 3. He fully awakens the Almighty, and Ichibi, he gets cooked. He gets cooked, man. He gets cooked, man. And Yhwach just walks right past him like it's nothing. He's like, anything I can see that won't be able to defeat me. And he just flexed on Ichibi. He hit him with one of the most egregious flexes I've seen in anime so far. He flexed on him so hard. But at the end of part 2, I knew, I was like, yeah, he gonna come back with a vengeance. He ain't done yet. And man, he came back and absolutely obliterated Ichibi. And I loved every minute of it. I can't lie. I loved every minute of it. And moving along, how about Yhwach? He basically rearranges the Soul Palace in his own vision, and he creates the stronghold for the Quincy's, man. You talking about, yes, it looks, yes, the animation of how it looks, and it's crazy. I just love how it looked, and with the animation being top tier. Shout out to Pierce Studios. Yeah, man. And him just basically destroying the Soul Palace and just creating something and just creating his own vision. Yes, man. You know, I see why within the community of just the anime community as a whole, and especially in the Bleach community, like, wow, I see why Yhwach is, you know, he's touted as one of the greatest anime villains of all time, and I can see why, man. And yeah, dude, yeah, the fact that he did what he did to Ichibi, and he just walks right past him onto the, you know, to the Soul Palace. Then he destroys the Soul Palace, and he creates his own, his own stronghold for him and his crew. And it looks so beautiful, man. And the animation, it looks so beautiful, man. And the OST in the background, and his henchmen looking like they're so in awe of his power. Like, yes, we will follow you anywhere, Almighty. It just, so I just loved it, man. He does have what the kids now say, aura. Yes, Yuha Baha, he definitely has aura, man. Yes, and I love him as a villain. Me myself being an anime only, I definitely love him as a villain, and I see why he gets as much hype as he gets. My second talking point I want to talk about is, man, probably one of, the best moments of the season, man. The return of Sosuke Aizen. The return of the madman himself. And it was so nice seeing Aizen return. It was so nice, because I've heard about it, but seeing it for myself, and it was so beautiful, man. Him sitting down in that freaking chair, and he somehow got stronger while he was in prison, sitting down in a chair. The head captain, Shanshui, he went to the prison and was like, "Yo, we need your help, big dog. We in this war. We need your help." And he got him up out of there, because he was like, we got pushed into a corner, and we need you. And seeing Aizen come back and seeing the reaction to the other captains, they was not having it. They was not having none of it. Rukia, Byakuya, they was not having none of it, man. But the head captain, he was like, I know how y'all feel, and I respect it. So if y'all wanna beat me up, fight me after this, I'm all for that. But right now, we need him. This is war. I know how y'all feel. He betrayed us. He's a traitor, yada, yada, yada. But right now, we in war. This ain't got time for no honor and no dignity. All that is out the window right now. We have to fight. We got to win this, man. So, and man, oh man, seeing my man Aizen from the chair, I'm going to keep repeating that because this still blows my mind, and he got even stronger in the chair. From the chair, this man pulls out a Hado number 90. Pulls out a Hado number 90. Koritsuchi, Hado number 90, and he just smokes the whole area. Because they were dealing with the little, the eyeball monsters, and Aizen just, he nukes the whole area with the Hado number 90, man. A magnificent display of power. And like I said before, man, I'm glad to see my man Aizen make a fantastic return. A fantastic return, man. Yeah, man. Sosuke Aizen. Top 3, top 5, however you want to put it. One of the greatest anime villains of all time makes a return, to turn the tables in the favor of the Soul Society. So, yeah, man. Aizen, my guy. My number 3 talking point is my main man Ichigo versus Uryu. Now, I really enjoyed this battle. And my man Uryu, him being the aggressor, and Ichigo him dealing with the mental nerf of, yo, this is my man's. We done been through hell and back together. You know, how you gonna do me like this? You on the other side, you switch teams on me. So Ichigo having to deal with the mental nerve of Uryu being on the enemy side and him having to deal with that, and Uryu is just being cold and heartless towards Ichigo. And also Chad is there, you know, and my girl Odahime is there. So they're seeing all of this like, you know, Uryu, how could you do this? And so, yeah, I enjoyed the battle, but it was really, you know, tough seeing Ichigo have to deal with the mental nerve of being forced to fight his friend. You know, being forced to fight his buddy. And, yeah, man, it was just tough to watch. But then again, Ichigo, he still defended himself. He wasn't like, this my man's, this my boy, but okay, I don't want to do this. You're forcing my hand. So he was still able to defend himself in the battle. You know, pulling out I think it was a Gesuga Jushiro or something. I'm butchering the name, excuse me, but so he was able to still pull out his attack. And Uryu pulled out his attack, and they basically, you know, counseled out each other, even though Uryu's was a little bit stronger. So, yeah, man. So Ichigo having to deal with that, having to deal with the betrayal of one of his good buddies, and Uryu is like, man, I don't care about the friendship right now, yada, yada, yada. So, seeing those two sides, you know, conflict with each other. So, yeah, I like seeing that, man. And, yeah, Uryu, man, freaking traitor. But, I still got faith in my man that he gonna turn it around and, do what's right. But yeah, so yeah, man, Ichigo, I know how you feel, man. I know how you feel. My next talking point is head captain Shunsui and Nanao versus my man Lily Barrow. And I gotta give Barrow his credit because, yeah, he pushed the head captain, you know, into a corner. So he, you know, Lily Barrow, he wasn't a pushover. You know what I'm saying? He made the head captain work, man, and I gotta respect him for that, man. You know, so yeah, I give him credit for that. He had my man Shunsui pulled out the Bankai, and I like his Bankai, man, and the animation of it, the colors, and man, it's just so sweet, man. And he says, the Bankai, the wounds you give to your partner appears on your own body. So yeah, man, he was, and I know everybody was anticipating his Bankai finally being animated, and I gotta say, man, it wasn't, they did the animation justice. It was crispy, top tier. So yeah, his Bankai was insane. But I know a lot of people probably was surprised who are not manga readers, as myself, because I'm thinking, oh, his Bankai was going to finish him off, but it wasn't. He transformed again, Lily Barrow. He transformed again, and speaking of his transformation, me personally, I wasn't feeling it, but that's just my personal preference. yeah, I wasn't feeling it when you turned into like the long neck bird creature type of thing. I really wasn't feeling it, but it did what it was supposed to do nonetheless. But me personally, I wasn't feeling it. But yeah, he pushed the head captain into a corner. Um, and like I said, I thought the head captain's Bankai was going to be enough to finish him off. But I was pleasantly surprised because we had got a big moment for I feel like an underrated character. And I'll be honest, myself, I didn't know too much about her, so I gotten a little bit more respect for her as a character and seeing a little bit of her backstory. So I was pleasantly surprised that we got some more some more character development. Yeah, from an underrated character. My girl Nanao pulling the final blow. She delivering the final blow to my man Lily Barrow with her family's legendary sword that can stand up against the powers of a god. Man, it's called Shinken Hakyoken. Man, and it's such a great attack, man. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. Like I said, we get to see, or at least for myself personally, we got to see more, underrated character get her moment in the sun, So yeah, man, I like that. And head captain Shunsui, he had faith in her to trust, faith and trust within her to let her handle this moment on her own. He was there to support her, but he stepped back and he let her take the get the shine, get her moment in the sun. So I like that, So yeah, man, and she was able to deliver the final blow, and yeah, get her moment to shine, and another thing, man, I wanted to say, I really do like the head captain as a character because I remember him in the earlier arcs of Bleach, but seeing him in the war arc, I feel like I got a little bit more of, a little bit more to his character, and I like him, man. He's laid back. He's a ladies' man. He doesn't, take himself too serious, and he's just a cool, laid back dude. And so yeah, I just like his disposition and how he carries himself, man. And yeah, and seeing his Bankai was incredible. My girl Nanao getting her moment in the sun, yeah, I liked it, man. I thoroughly enjoyed it. My next talking point is my man Mayuri versus Pernita, aka the left hand of the Soul King, man. Seeing my man Mayuri in action, because, Mayuri is like one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite side characters in Bleach, man. As you know, Kenpachi's my guy. I love him. But Mayuri, he's right there, man. It's like my favorite, my favorite character, favorite side characters within Bleach. So I was thoroughly excited to see him battle, and then he in battle, he battling somebody as important as the left arm of the Soul King. That's that's very important. So yeah, man. And so he's the left hand of the Soul King. So yeah, he's a giant purple hand. And dude, this giant purple hand guy, he was not a pushover as you would expect as the left arm of the Soul King. So yeah, man, like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed the battle and seeing my man Mayuri use his expertise when it comes to being a scientist to, let him get the dub in this battle. And yeah, man, can we talk about my man's Bankai? Man, his Bankai is a giant baby. There's a giant baby. He pulls out the Bankai as a giant golden baby, and the baby eats the hand. He eats the left hand, and I'm just like, seeing this, I'm just like, yo, this is insane. Shout out to Kubo for his creativity, man. So, yeah, gotta shout out Kubo for the creativity. My man Mayuri has a giant baby as a Bankai, man. Asi Sochi Jizo, I think that's how you pronounce it, but yeah, man, he has a giant baby as a Bankai, man. And it's insane just to see a giant baby on the battlefield, and yeah, he just eats the hand, and I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. It's it's hilarious and creative at the same time, man. So like I said, I just enjoyed seeing my man Mayuri on the battlefield. So yeah, putting that big brain of his to good use for the good guys. And I can't forget about my girl Nemu doing her part. Doing her part, protecting and sacrificing herself for Captain Mayuri, man. My girl Nemu, man. She did her part, and she went out like a G. She went out like a G, and yeah, I respect it, man. She went out like a G, man. And the part where Mayuri, where he yelled at her for, moving on her own, taking things into her own hands and judging it by her own without him telling her what to do. He yelled at her, and yeah, it was very harsh. But I looked at it like, okay, I looked at it as a father kind of like disciplining his daughter for for basically disobedience. You know what I mean? So that's how I looked at it, and she saved him. She saved him. So her being disobedient, it saved him. So that's the thing. So where it's like him yelling at her for being disobedient, and then you come to find like, dude, if it wasn't for her being disobedient, you probably wouldn't have made it. So I like the point of him, yelling at her as like a father for being disobedient, and I understand how some fans could be like, oh, he's being too harsh on her. He should treat her better. I definitely agree with that as well. But in this moment, I can understand, why he did what he did. And I also can understand, like, yeah, I disobeyed you, but I saved you and I sacrificed myself. So yeah, man. My girl, Nemu, man, I respect the sacrifice. Yeah. And you can see in the moment where Nemu dies, he does show a little bit of like oh man, you know, I didn't want her to go out like this. I wanted her to keep growing and keep learning. So he did show concern for her. You know, when she died, he had a moment of of concern, like a genuine father would have for, his daughter. So yeah, but man, she went out like a G, man, and she did what she thought was right, even if she disobeyed his orders. So yeah, man, I respect it. My man Mayuri doing his thing, and my girl Nemu for doing that sacrifice, and for letting my man Mayuri live on to fight another day. And yeah, so shout out to Nemu for that awesome sacrifice, man. Rest in peace to a real one. And my next and my final talking point is my girl Yoruichi versus asking, one of the top Quincy officers. So yeah. And I gotta give a little shout out to the little broski, man. The little bro, he came out and Yoruichi was getting, she was getting disrespected because asking he didn't know the name of her attack, and little bro, he was like, nah, man, you gonna show my sister some respect. He came out of nowhere and put the absolute pause on my man. He put the absolute pause on my man. So him having that moment in the sun where he, came to his sister's, where he came to his sister's rescue as like you disrespecting my sister. So yeah, I like that moment from him, man, as her little brother. And he even got a little praise from Big Sis, like, yeah, this move that you've learned, that I taught you, you've gotten very, very, very great with this move that I taught you. So that deserves a little bit of praise. So yeah, man. And then my girl Yoruichi pulling out the crazy lightning attack that she pulled out. The crazy lightning attack that she pulled out, man. So this whole freaking, how they animated her lightning attack and, the frames that they used, it was insane, man. And, yeah. And Yoruichi, man, she's one of the best waifus in Bleach, man. She's the best girl out here, man. So her fans, the diehard Yoruichi fans, man, I know they were loving it, man. And I thoroughly enjoyed it myself, seeing my girl get her moment in the sun. And so yeah, man, Yoruichi, man, top tier waifu, man, showing why she's a badass. So yeah, man, you could be both. You could be gorgeous and attractive and also be a badass and not be a pushover. That's the balance we need. Man. So I love it. Yoruichi doing her thing. Lil Broski coming in, doing his part. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. The 1,000-Year Blood War. I'm going to ask again, what was you guys' favorite part of the 1,000-Year Blood War? Yeah, man. It was insane. It was insane, man. Shout out to all the animators out there. Shout out to Kubo. Man, you guys killed it, man. You guys killed it. And I can't wait to part 4. The finale. Oh man, I already know it's gonna be insane. I cannot freaking wait. It's gonna be bananas, man. It's gonna be utterly bananas. So, yes, this has been your man Rashad, the host of the Variety Pack Podcast. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.